structural approach combines family therapy with community perspective. Focusing on the socially disadvantaged has led him to explore and write about the relationship between the therapist's personal lives and their therapy. He trains therapists to work with the differences between themselves and their clients in ethnicity, values, socioeconomic status, and personal life experience. Today, you will observe Harry's interview of an Anglo-Hispanic family. The interview will be followed by a brief discussion with the referring social worker. This is a 4-generational family household with a female line from great-grandmother to great-granddaughter. Lori, the mother, is on her 3rd marriage. The first union produced Melanie, now age 8, who offers the presenting problem. The second marriage added the youngest daughter, Contessa, now age 4. David, her husband, is a Mexican of recent American citizenship. Lori's father, by the way, was also of Mexican-American background. Lori brought Melanie to see a social worker at a mental health clinic because of her sleepwalking and excessive crying. We invite you now to discover the relationship between this symptom and the way the family is organized.
Okay, let's just give your names again. David, and David, how old are you? 20.
Laura,
How old are you? 25. Old. 8. And you're neither, right? You're Lori's mother?
yeah,
And your home, the 3 of you, well, all 4 of you live in.
right.
Plus your mother.
And her little sister.
Yeah, that's right. Her little sister who is 4. Right? Okay. You came to the mental health center. What was the problem?
With my daughter, she couldn't go to sleep at night, and she'd been crying, and I was really concerned about that. And she sleepwalks, so
You walk in your sleep?
she don't remember.
She does now?
She still does, and sometimes she'll be laying in bed and she'll sit straight up and scream. And then she'll lay back down and she doesn't remember. And she won't tell us what's wrong with her or anything.
And when she sleepwalks, what does she do?
Several things. She tried to crawl out the window one time, and then she was walking towards the door when kind of didn't know which way she wanted to go. She'd just be talking, but her eyes would be in a glaze. She won't blink an eye or nothing. She was But my most concern is her crying. Yeah. Sometimes she'll just cry. For no reason. There has to be a reason. But she won't tell us what it is, or she won't let us know anything.
That sounds pretty sad, though. You've been crying for a long time? I'll ask you about someone embarrassing. How long has she been?
It's been going on for about, I'd say, a couple of years now.
When they called us from school that time, he said that
She started crying.
she started crying and they didn't know what was wrong.
And she came in her home too.
You don't know why you called? It sounds like you're pretty unhappy, pretty sad little girl.
And she has a hard time getting to sleep. Sometimes it takes her 3 or 4 hours. If I've caught her walking around, she would tell me she just can't go to sleep.
How long has that been?
It's been going on for about a year. And we just didn't know what was happening, we just didn't know. Finally decided to see what's wrong. And we have to do something. Make her not want to sleep.
I guess the biggest change in the last couple of years has 3 years.
It'll be 3 years in March. This coming March, it'll be 3 years.
Okay, so it's about 2.5 years. And when did you move into the house?
Bueno,
¿Cuándo te mudaste a Colombia? ¿Cuándo empezaste a vivir en
hemos estado viviendo ahí por semanas, un mes. Hemos cambiado mucho espacio, hemos vivido mucho espacio.
Oh, sí, hasta ahora todavía.
Ahora tenemos como un mes. No, apenas 3 semanas.
En la casa. Oh, I thought you two were living together in the house
No.
for quite a while.
No. We lived in other places.
They're saying that you've been in and out of a lot of different places.
Mm-hmm.
Well, tell me about that so that I understand. I don't understand.
Well, we just, some places we move in, we just don't like, we move in and then the people don't take care of it, so we move out, if they don't do something.
But then you say some places were in just a few weeks and then
No, I mean, where we're living now, is and we used to live there in Cuba for about 2 months.
right?
And there, we live in different place.
You two have been together for 2.5 years?
Yeah. No, for 1 year.
Oh, 2.5 years.
Yeah.
You've been living together for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Okay. How many places did you live?
4.
4 places.
Mm-hmm. But let me say, most of the time she stayed with my mother because of the school, and instead of moving to one place, having to, go to the school and range off them.
Right.
Or she would stay with grandma. And she stayed with us on the weekends.
Right.
Okay.
So right now I have no idea how much in those 2.5 years, how much time did she actually live with you?
My mom always talked about it.
Oh.
She's never lived exactly with me. My mom always talked about it. They raised her when I was 18 years old.
Excuse me?
They raised her this hair when I was 17.
Right.
And they raised her from there when she was little. I mean, I've been in the house, but like when I went to work, she was the one to take care of me. Sometimes I'd work all night long,
Well, Melanie, you've had 2 mothers. Right? 3, that's right. Okay, sorry, 3 mothers. Did you know you have 3 mothers? You have this mother, you have that mother, and then you have, what's your great-grandmother's name? Margaret. You've had 3 mothers. Nina? Tell me a little bit about this young girl that you have helped raise.
Well, we've had her since she was about 4 months old, and I've had to work on and off, and my mother has helped take care of her, and she sleeps with great-grandma, and great-grandma has arthritis pretty bad, and a lot of times she can't get up and do a lot of things, but she can always sit and listen to Melanie read, or help her with her homework, or test her on her spelling words, and while the rest of us are busy doing what has to be done in the house. And we try to make sure that she gets to school. We got her enrolled in the magnet school so that she would learn another language. Tried to get her in Spanish, but they were full, so the next.
You want to talk about your brother? Is he your full brother? Or?
Yeah. I don't get along.
You two have these books between you about him.
That's a whole nother
It
story.
seems like whenever we're in the house, he makes the whole house just move. I mean, I can't sit in the house and be comfortable. My kids don't want to be around him. You know, he's kind of guy.
You got a problem.
He's drunk.
He's a drunk. All right, well, you really got a problem. And your other daughter, how old is she?
31.
So you're the baby. Usually, is your mother the one who has spent most of the time with mom?
A lot of time with her, yes.
Really? Can you tell me about your great grandmother? What she was? You nervous? Yeah. What's happened?
Nothing.
Nothing. Am I fine? Your eyes look a little funny. But you were good about it. You know what I'm looking at? Now he just sort of almost closes her eyes. They're not focused. Wow. Perhaps any of you could tell me more about what's her name, Margaret?
Marguerite?
Marguerite? More about Marguerite and the relationship between her and Marguerite.
They're all okay. I mean, Grandma makes her do that and do her, you know, whatever she has to do.
Right.
You know, to me, she's strict because she's not. I remember when I was her age. Like, she's the same today, you know, as she was then.
Right.
And to me, that's kind of strict. I mean, too much.
Okay, but she's
She's
been the
not as
one.
lenient as her mom. You
Now,
know,
who sets? Okay, that's a big question. Really is. Who sets the rules? You know.
everybody. I mean, that's the problem. Everybody. One people tells her one thing and one people tells her the other, you know. I mean, it's hard for her. You know, if I tell her something, then my grandma will tell her not to do it, or, you know, or grandma will tell her something. If I didn't hear it, I'll say, well, do this, you know. And that's what I think is most of the problem, you know.
And where do you fit in? What? She's what?
She's working, I mean, this is all going on, but when she comes home, you know.
When your mother says one thing and Laurie says something else, what do you do?
Well, we have to lean because Lori is the mother.
Right?
You know, we don't have that much to say because we're not really her mom.
All right.
Yeah, they got to say. But when I want to tell her something and I've done told her, and then she'll go in there and start to do what I told her, then my grandma will tell her something completely different, and then Melanie will say, my mom told me to, you know, and then she's like all mixed up now because I tell her one thing and then she goes to do it, then my grandma starts in, you know.
Let me mention something here. Okay, in the cognitive behavioral communication paradigm, that when I say that I want you to look, I mentioned a little bit about what to look for in the couple, what a puppy does with the couple, right? In terms of identifying either unhelpful behaviors or unhelpful thoughts can be replaced by more helpful behaviors and thoughts between the couple. With the family, when you look at that there's a paragraph in that paradigm, and it's called structural intervention. And the part that I really want you to look at, there's a sentence that says something like, you know, the ability of the family to have more flexible boundaries with each other. Okay, and right now when Nita said, well, we have to bend because she's mom. That's an example of an inflexible boundary, right? That's an example of a rigid boundary, right? That Lisa herself and maybe other family members are buying into this, are kind of following this rigid boundary that, you know, she's the mom, I'm just the grandma, you know, she's got more power, I have less, and they're kind of like, it's kind of like not flexible, right? And so pay attention to that for that particular intervention strategy and think and reflect on what happens with those boundaries by the end of the session. Okay?
And that's the last one.
Now what do you do? What do you do about that?
I just told her, I went in and I told her, I just told her to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I said, now you're telling her not to do it.
And what
Then we
happens?
get an argument. It's like,
And
I don't know.
how does the argument end? Who wins?
I do. I will because I just got to telling her, you know, I'm going to do it. You know, there's nothing wrong. I don't find nothing wrong with it.
You understand all this? Okay. Do you have anything that you can add to this? If you do, just speak up. Did she sleep last night? No? No? You both say no, right?
She has a hard time very tired of those sleep. She's going in and she'll get back up.
It's very tired. Well, what time did she fall asleep last night?
Very, sometimes not until
Last night.
12.
Last night, 12 o'clock. What time did she get up this morning? And normally you sleep with your great grandmama.
Mm-hmm.
You like sleeping with her?
Mm-hmm.
Does your great grandma like you sleeping with her?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Why not? Why do you think she doesn't like you sleeping with her?
I don't sleep in her room.
Oh, I thought you did sleep in her. You sleep in her room, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have your own bed. Right? You must explain what's the sleeping bed.
It's a turtle bed.
Yeah.
It's the bed that pulls out on wheels.
Right.
She sleeps alone. But she ends up calling in bed with her anyway.
Okay. Does her great grandmother like her sleeping in bed?
Oh, sometimes it's a little crowded. Or both of them in a twin bed, you know, with a child, they sleep every which way.
Right.
And she kind of fusses at her a little bit, but she's not real serious about it. She used to have a queen size bed,
Mm-hmm.
and they slept in the same bed.
Right.
Well, then we got rid of that and got the trundle bed, and she doesn't like to sleep on the trundle.
All right. How long have you had the trundle bed?
Oh, about a couple of months.
Well, why did you change the bed, Rachel? Why did you get trundle bed?
My mom wanted more room in her room.
I see. You got more room on that bed. Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, one side's in under the other. So
I understand.
it makes more
But
more
Melanie right
area.
now is not happy with it. And apparently your mother's not happy with it either because Melanie climbs into bed with her. All right. You're going to be a problem. Big sleeping problem. Now, has Melanie been going with you to anywhere, to any places to live with you? Or does she always stay?
Oh, she comes there when she don't have to school. Like sometimes she'll spend the night.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes she don't want to. Sometimes she just wants to stay. Yeah. That's where she's very.
I was thinking, I just imagine she would miss her great grandmother.
And great grandma's not at home now. She's gone for a week. I'm trying to get her sister. Yeah, she messes. She does. And she wants, like when we have her over there, she does want to collect. She's either bored. Sometimes we live where there's no place for them to play at. You know, and I don't want them playing outside or, you know, out close to the street or anything. And they got all their stuff there, paint, everything. Wow.
Will she ever want to leave her great grandmother to live with you? It's a question.
I can't answer. I hope she will. I'd like to make things better.
And has your employer also been with you?
Well, she'll come with me anywhere. See, her dad takes her on weekends and buys her clothes and everything, you know. And she's pretty happy with that
Does
situation.
she sleep over with him?
Yeah.
You have any family?
Yeah, her the grandma. But the little ones don't have nobody.
How do you get along with her dad?
I talk to her.
Okay?
Yeah.
No big problem. I know he has an awful lot of time.
Yeah.
What's the problem in finding a family?
Well, he just got back from getting his visa to work here. I was the only one working. I can't afford for everybody, you know. I can't afford to work all day and then get to the babysitter and then groceries and then rent and then.
Okay, but now
he's
you do
working.
have a visa, so you can work here legally, no problem, right?
Yeah, that's what our step is. Our goal is to try.
What are you gonna do? Tell me the steps. How are you planning? What are you planning to do? Right now you're living with family.
We want to pay our bills first.
Right.
And we want to find us a place to live.
Right.
Get us a car. And go on with our lives.
How long is that going to take?
Well,
Pay your bills.
depends on how much money a job's going to pay us. We can't live off minimum wage.
Is that what you're earning now?
Yeah. Can't live off that.
No, I really can't live off that. Are you going back to work?
Yeah.
Soon.
Soon.
As soon as you get a job.
I can find one. I'm going to be a security guard.
Right.
You know, it's not paying any much more, but it's paying. So I got to find something.
I'll tell you something. Your grandmother should be here. She's been one of the most important people in my life. No matter how you cut it.
Yeah.
Very important.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies, one word, ladies. Do you also tell her what to do? How many people tell Melanie what to do?
I don't count.
You don't count. Why don't you count?
Yeah.
Why don't you count?
Seguir installed the glory stuff.
Does everybody get in trouble with her if they say something to Mel? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wow. You're a tough lady, Laura.
No.
Well, I look at these two people.
If I tell her something different, somebody coming up behind her and telling her something different.
I hear you.
You know, like something it's confusing her, you know, and she's like, well, Mom told me to do this, and now you're telling me to do this. I'm like, I don't care if he corrects her. That's what I'm at. But he just, I don't know.
Well, I can't tell you what. Well, that's the question. Question is that you really have to be a different kind of mother than the usual mother, because you're in a different kind of situation. You have to be more like a chairman of the board. You would need to be like the person who talks for you. What are we gonna tell Melanie? How are we going to raise her?
Are you trying to say she needs kind of like a schedule?
No, she needs you to talk to David, Nina, the grandmother, to the father. You say, what shall we do about this? What shall we do about that? You first come to an agreement with them. Then the grandmother. You can't live out of the house for 3 weeks. Come back in and suddenly tell everybody in the house how they should raise smells. Because you haven't been there. If you see Melanie only in the weekend, and you haven't seen her for 5 days, you can suddenly go in and become the boss.
Well, we had a conflict, I think it was about a week or so ago, with Melanie studying her spelling words in great grandma's room.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing the dishes and cooking. Melanie was with great grandma studying her spelling words. A little boy came to the door and wanted Melanie to come out and they were going to ride bikes.
Mm-hmm.
Melanie didn't want to go. She said, I'm studying my spelling words and Lori made her go outside.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a conflict there because great grandma was helping her with her schoolwork. And it was just a conflict. She thought she should play outside for a while after being in school all day.
Mm-hmm.
The difference of opinion is a conflict.
I hear you.
So it's things like that that we have to decide on.
I figured before it got too late, because she did want to go outside. But before it got too late and too dark, she just got off the school bus. She didn't have to go right in the house and start studying. And then she had time to fly outside, hold it, then come in, study, take a bath, and then go to bed. She was,
I hear you.
So that's the way I think. You know, so she should come home after school and go in there and start studying. All day at school studying is
You know, something, Lauren, I think it's the same as what I said. Problem is, he's not living with you. I think if Melanie were in my house, at least my wife and I raised our daughter, we always want to take a little time off, relax, not to go from school to more school. Okay? So I pray for you. Our daughter lives with us all the time. And Melanie wants to live.
Well, I've been there for a month or so. You know, I was willing with my steps to try to get help.
I hear you.
You know, and try to work things up for now.
It's home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you. You gotta work it out between you and my feet. But
Great grandma hasn't been home either. She hasn't been home at all.
that's why you can because Melanie lives in a very complicated family. And she needs you to be the most complicated. So that would be, it's like a corporation of parents.
Yeah.
With you at the head, pulling everybody together. You have to be a diplomat. You have to be very smart with all of the people so that they all work. And the recipe problem. You're 25. And we're talking about you being clear divorce for your mother and for your grandmother. You know, I mean, that's, you know, in one way, you're their daughter and granddaughter. But in another way, you have to be the boss that you do. So that's not easy. It's not as if you were the great one. Usually, I don't know what to think. Are you upset right now? Yeah. So, do you understand what's happening? Do you understand what's happening? You know what I feel? I feel that you're trying to manage a very, very difficult thing. You know, thinking about you and David trying to get a marriage together. Trying to make money to get the messy lifestyle. Trying to find a place to get the lifestyle. Same time you're trying to take care of your daughter. And I think it's going to fail. You can't have a difficult. Then you have the mother-in-law and you have the grandmother-in-law. I think it's a lot. That's right. Your mom is fine. You cry sometimes. Tell me what's wrong.
I just can't do it. I tried one thing and then it failed, and then I got to another and it failed, and then no matter what I tried, it seems like always towards. But I want to make it. I want to make it with you. I got them and everybody else.
Well done.
But I can't do everything all by myself.
You can. How's it going to take you?
Huh?
How's it going to take you?
Well, it's been going rough too. We just got a lot of pressure on us too. We don't have a place to stay, we want to live her, we don't like to live there. We want to be out on our own. He wants to have a better job, and I want him to have a better job. I'd like to keep a job. And I'd like to stay home with my kids. You know, I don't want to work. I'd rather be staying home with them. I can't do that. I have to work. But I want him to have the best, you know. Yeah, I'm going to court with the little one, and then
The little one's father wants custody.
no, he's saying that he's not the father, and I gotta go to court for that. One thing after another.
Yeah. You have a couple of disadvantages too. Disadvantages because this country is new to you. So it's harder for you to help or in a place where you have trouble with the law. Where you're not really, you don't have a good job. It's hard to be a man of the heart in that situation. You're also 20 years old. You're just beginning life as a man. And what do you think?
No, I think I'm all right.
Why? see your eyes, you know, I think this guy's thinking something. I don't know what you're thinking right now. Hearing all of this. When you see, I'll tell you what I'm wondering. When you see Lori cry like that, you said, this is too much. What do you think? You want to help her?
Well, I try, but she has.
You will.
She doesn't listen to me. She wanna do whatever she wants.
What do you want to listen to about?
Well, like she wanna do something, and I think it's wrong. And I said, no, it's not that way. And she has good. O alguien le pegó le pasa something.
Lori? What about her?
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, since I don't know what kind of conversation involved in the conversation right now. I don't know what he's.
Well, I said to, or I said to, if you wanna do something, or we're talking about anything. Well, I think that's the first thing. Just to do that right here. But
no matter what I say, everything is wrong. I mean, I can't say nothing right. He's always talking about everything. There's nothing that I say something, there's nothing. You know, and then I start, you just go on and go on, I get real mad at him, and that's the reason I get mad, and then I just don't even listen to him. But it's hard trying to explain, you know, how I feel or what I do. It's just like, wrong with this, you know. You don't get in a knockout, drag out real bad.
Okay, but you're not neither of you happy. Because, you see, you're both feeling that you're not a team, that you're not together. Both of you are feeling it. You're not feeling that, well, I can say something, he understands. Laura, you're not feeling, I can say something, he understands. So with all the troubles that you two have, you're not together.
yeah, I'm with her as long as she's right.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. That makes your life worthwhile.
Okay, so let's see, if anybody wants to stay, I can just keep it rolling. If people want to leave, that's okay too. How do you want to do it? Stop it there. Okay. All right.